Why do smart people struggle with their PhDs while average get through? The thing is that being smart is not enough anymore. Why don't we decompose it today so that you don't fall into this trap? Let's go. I believe that a PhD is the time when a high achievers, people that were very smart at school, actually for the first time maybe in their lives, they face a new world. It is kind of a reality check. Being intelligent in academia is a basic minimum. It's kind of a standard. Everyone is smart. So knowing a lot in itself doesn't bring you much, doesn't lead you to the success. Well, the thing is that after all those years of school, probably several university degrees, you learned that the school rewards correctness when you're doing something following their rules, which leads you to a final correct result. On the other hand, research does something different. It rewards you when you deal with uncertainty. Real life is not as simple as textbooks and lessons. There is no correct answer. If you're doing research, you are pushing this frontier of knowledge. You are probably working on something that is very niche and that very few people in this whole world work on or even sometimes understand. So learning how to tolerate uncertainty is the greatest tool. I made a whole video on being anti-fragile, how this skill can help you move without a certain direction when you have to navigate plenty of results, build a story that doesn't exist yet, create a narrative in your article of this whole fog of the unknown. So I truly believe if you learn this skill, you're gonna be a lot less vulnerable. Point 2. Perfectionism becomes dangerous. If you build yourself impossible standards, it leads to all sorts of extreme situations. Imagine you're writing an article, you are going through multiple revisions before even sending it to your supervisor. Often people are scared of failing, whereas you're literally getting paid to fail during your PhD. Work not on the ideal result, but rather on getting things done. This is a working strategy. Point 3. Research has delayed results. Sometimes you can be working for hours, days, weeks, months on something, for example, ethical proposal, collecting data, let alone writing an article that takes around 1 year to be published. It sometimes just scares me when I look at the published articles of different authors and you can see the date when it was sent for revision and the date it was published, and it's very often around a year. So it is crazy. You really don't have to wait for a quick result. Fast validation. Get prepared. You can literally spend months without progress. I'm thinking now about my latest proposals and experiments that failed, and the data was never analyzed. Well, that's just an off-top. I think I have to follow those rules myself and not try to be perfect. If it happened, there was a reason for it. Maybe this failed experiment is going to pop up later as a new idea and bring me to another collaboration or at least discussion. You never know. The fourth point is very important. We often mix intelligence with emotional resilience. You grow up as a perfectionist. You're probably not used to rejection, comparison, ambiguity. That happens a lot. My supervisors say if your article is not rejected for like 1 or 2 or 3 journals, that means that you didn't aim high enough. Ambiguity. Think about finding the positions. If you want to pursue a postdoc, the terms could start from 1 year. I even saw 6 months positions. That literally means that once you're trying to work on a project, the first day you start, you have to search for a different postdoc. It is a long game. It's not a sprint, but in every tiny period of the marathon, you have to perform very well, and ambiguity doesn't help. If you were smart at school, you're probably not used to comparison either, or maybe in any time you were compared to people around you scored higher. Maybe it was even a dopamine for you. Also, talking about my personal experience, I think in my case the harshest reality check was when I actually moved from my actual school to the boarding school where people were highly selected, and I also changed my profile from linguistics to physics and maths. And I have to say that people were brilliant in those STEM subjects, but they were also very much educated. They were participating also in competitions in linguistics, for example, and I was used to being good at it. At that moment, I was not good neither at physics nor in linguistics. So it was harsh, but I think in terms of a PhD, it prepared me a lot. So to wrap it up, my point is PhD is difficult, but not necessarily intellectually. even though it is. We can deny it. But mostly it just becomes a psychological challenge, and you better get prepared before you start. That was it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you!